I'm at the beach with Dominique, who is lying down, so you probably can't see her. It's really hot and really windy today, and we're just hanging out at the beach. I was reading a book earlier and I finished it, so I started a new one. The one I'm starting now is called Blue Sisters by Coco Mellors. I feel like this one is popular. It took me a really long time to get off the wait list for this one, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm assuming it's about 4 sisters with the last name Blue. I literally just started it. They just talked about 2 sisters so far. I'm like so sweaty and so oily and so sticky. Truly prime beach experience. Something that I've been thinking a lot about is like my relationship with work and how I like don't want it to be such a big part of my life anymore. Wow, it's so bright. I feel like I used to really care about making my whole personality my work and just putting a lot of pressure on myself in that way. I'll just hold this gigantic pouch so it doesn't look like I'm talking on a mic because it's embarrassing. It's so cute. Yeah, I think like before last year, work was a really big part of my life because I was traveling a lot. I was on tour and work never really ended. My job was not a strict 9 to 5. It was more like just 24/7. When I was on tour, it was a lot of, there was just like no off days really. And I think I liked it in the moment because then I had something to like really dedicate all of my time and energy to. But in the past few months as I've been looking for a new job, I've come to the conclusion that right now, at this exact moment in my life, I don't want work to be that meaningful to me. I don't want work to define me, and I don't want work to be the most interesting thing about me. I feel like for a while it was like I put so much of my personality into it, but now I'm just kind of like, I just want to do a little 9 to 5, and then I just clock in, and then I clock out, and then I get on with my day, and I have weekends. I don't, like, put everything into work. There's nothing wrong with caring about what you do for work. I feel like it's always very commendable when people really, really, really like their jobs, because I think this society that we live in, a lot of people actually hate their jobs, and it makes me a little sad. I think I want to at least kind of enjoy my work, but I don't think that it's like the end-all be-all for me anymore. I want, at least right now, like I want work to be just a way to support my lifestyle, like working to live, not living to work, that kind of mentality. It used to be the other way around for me, but it's been a very slow perspective shift in the past few years. I think I've always just had really high expectations for myself when it comes to work, that I have to be the best at what I do. Kind of like Amy March from Little Women, especially the Greta Gerwig version. I feel like a combination of Amy and Jo, where it's like, I want to be, if I'm not the best at what I do, then what's the point of doing it at all? Which I think has been like a kind of hurtful mentality for me, because my expectations for myself are so high. Like truly nobody else in my life is like asking this of me except for me. Talking about it more in therapy and talking about it with my friends as well, that's just like recognizing that I don't have to put all my eggs into that basket. I think last year when I was really dedicated to work, looking back now, like I didn't really like who I was as a person. I wasn't a very good friend. I wasn't a very good sister. I wasn't a very good daughter. So much of my life was dictated by how work looked or how I was valued at work. So it was really easy for me to just like lose myself in that. So I think like, God, it's literally so bright I can't even see anything. I have a massive headache. I have a sun headache with my sunglasses off. I'm really excited to start working again and just not have work define me anymore. I can just do my little job, and then after I'm done at 5, I just go to the beach or I just read. And I don't engage in more methods of working like I used to do. I feel like I finally actually have friends now too, which is a big factor. And I have like interests and hobbies that go beyond working. I think for a while work was definitely a big hobby of mine, which is like kind of embarrassing to admit. think those are basically all of my reflections on work. Basically realizing that I didn't really like who I was last year, and how can I like make amends with that, and what I want my relationship with work to look like moving forward to avoid that, and how I can just be like the best version of myself as an employee. Like that probably just looks like not caring about work that much. Like it's genuinely not that serious. Last week, I went to Joshua Tree randomly. I mean, like I don't have a job, so I didn't have to take time off work. But the person I went with, they had to call in sick on Monday. And they had this, literally, I was like, you should just call in sick. And then they were like, but I called in sick 2 weeks ago. And I was like, that's the thing about sickness, is you can't foresee when it's going to happen again. So what's the problem with calling in sick again? And they're like, no, I can't. And they're like, oh, I have unlimited PTO. And I was like, then why are we even having this conversation? Like, honestly, just take the day off. Why are we debating about this right now? So then they took the day off. Oh, and then they were like, oh, but I just like feel bad because my manager gets upset when people give like really late notices. I'm like, respectfully, who cares? Like, your manager can chill and life will go on. So like, what is the big deal? And also, you're not saving lives. Like, the earth just keeps spinning. Just take the day off. And they were like, yeah, I guess like a year from now, I'm not gonna look back and be like, oh, thank God I worked on that Monday. Exactly. So they took the day off and then went to Joshua Tree like Sunday night, and then came back on Monday, and it was a lot of fun. And I feel like that is how that, like, moments like that, aside from like spontaneity aside, like moments like that is like when I feel the most alive. And even like this weekend, being here in San Diego with one of my college friends who is tanning over there, and just feeling like there's so much to do and experience and just like be in life rather than like clogging in and out all the time. I think it's totally okay to like care about work, but I just don't want it to get in the way of me living anymore. So experience life, do things for fun, who cares, and live a little. Take that day off, go on vacation. But I think that's all that's on my very sunburnt brain for today. When friends ask me like, how is your YouTube going? I think my YouTube to me is just a way for me to document my life. If strangers watch it, that's like I feel kind of weird because they're perceiving me and I don't even know them. But for the most part, I feel like pretty positive about it. Like, it's just like a digital time capsule for me to look back on my life and my experiences and things that I'm processing through. And it's not so much like, oh, I want to monetize this, I want to get 1 million subscribers, like I want to go viral. It's just for me to look back on in the future and be like, oh, that was cool. Life was good. You remember when you took that trip? Remember when you really, really cared about work and spiraled so hard and became a shell of a human, and how we're not going to ever do that again? Yeah, stuff like that. So YouTube to me is and will always just be like a for fun activity and not something that I put a lot of pressure on. I think I've tried taking it a little bit more seriously the past few months because I've been unemployed, so it's kind of like, well, you're not doing anything anyway, so like might as well commit time to doing this thing for fun. I like editing videos. It's like a skill set to practice. I also like learning to color grade and stuff, so it all works out in the end. I think that's all the thoughts that I have. I have other thoughts. Dom and I talked a lot about therapy recently, so I've been thinking thoughts about that. But that's it for today. Okay, bye. I think this whole video I'm like scowling because it's so bright.